Hello, Blizzard fans! This is FalconPaladin coming to you with yet another daily Blizzard upload. This is a game between Alex and Bach on Terraform, the latter edition. Come back here, camera. I need you. Alright, let's go ahead and introduce the players in the top left of Terraform, the latter edition. We have the red Terran player. It is Alex. And in the bottom right of Terraform, the latter edition, we have the blue Protoss player naming himself after the classical composer. It is Bach with a lowercase b. Alright, so this is on the latest patch of Legacy of the Void. I know I say that in some of my previous casts, and it's not. That's because I run with a weak buffer. So what that means is I post my games up, and then I kind of get them ahead of schedule, to where I can kind of post 2 a day using the scheduling ability of YouTube and just have them up at, 12 p.m. Eastern and 7 p.m. Eastern every single day. But what that means is some of the games that are posted are from like 10 or 12 days ago. And so what that means is that sometimes a little bit behind on the patches, but this one is definitely going to post on the latest patch. And what that means is as the nice block comes off here from Alex with a double supply depot and the barracks, ooh, and the SCV moves out of the way just in time to avoid death. Certain death by that probe, and then it was back into danger, but the probe's not paying attention. Is he going to be able to get it out of there in time? He is. Finish the supply depot, finish off the wall. The scouting probe's not able to see anything much, although I think it can see this barracks. It can, so it can see the double barracks play, which is a bit of a mistake there from Alex. Probably wants to put that up here just so the probe doesn't get a full read on exactly what's coming out from the Terran player. But anyway, what I was saying, this is the latest patch. And so we have the Chrono Boost, which is places target structure and a Chrono Boost, causing it to operate 23% faster. So basically, yeah, it has the ability with the Eternal Chrono Boost here. That still exists. The mules, I believe, were returned to exactly what they were previous to the prior patch. So with that, or the prior patch, basically Heart of the Swarm. So mules exist. Where are our mules? It actually doesn't say what it is. But again, mules, if orbital command is going to pop up here for Alex, which doesn't look like it is. And there it is. As soon as I say that, he goes ahead and gets that as well as a factory. What I was going to say, though, is that the mules work just like they used to. They're manual call down. They can be put down on any mural patch across the map anywhere. It's not an auto cast anymore. So Terran players should be happy that the changes are back to where they want them. I did hear a lot of complaints about that. Reaper heading out here. Actually, changing its mind, going to go ahead and kill this probe that wants to scout. Poor probe doesn't get any information whatsoever. SCV fighting a probe here instead of scouting. SCV, what are you doing? I know you're weakening the probe, but you're going to lose this fight. I'm pretty sure. Very close. No! The SCV wins the fight with 5 hit points left. That SCV is a recruit, which I think you still have if you have 0 kills. So whatever. Adept going to come down and end his suffering, though. And no, maybe not. No, because there's a Reaper in the base. The Reaper going to come around the backside, maybe do some scouting here. Whoa, come back. Come back, camera. And are we going to get a probe kill? It does take a lot of kills to kill a probe, or a lot of hits, and there we go. Mothership core comes out, rains down a little destruction. Using KD8 charge on all the probes, though, they do go back to work automatically, which is nice. For the Protoss player, does scout out the double gateway, and recognizing there's no expansion, this is basically a one base play, which you don't see very much in Legacy of the Void. Ooh, but there's a Marauder here and 2 Marines. Don't actually do enough damage to the Adept to kill it immediately. Wow. Actually trying to kill Marauders is not that great of an idea, but the psionic transfer, no! It is going to finish for one, but not the other. It's going to 2-shot these workers. Kabam, kabam. Gets surrounded by the SCVs, but the damage isn't a whole lot there. Another SCV dies. Another SCV dies. This Adept is up to 3 kills. Can it get 4? Nope. Does not get 4. So the wall off here was not so great for the Adept. Should have that supply depot up, but more and more Adepts are moving out. This is kind of a one-base play here from Bach. Also using the Warp Gate research ability, throwing up yet another 4. Oh, it's a Forge actually in production. Getting upgrades off of one base. Interestingly enough, we are moving out here with a Reaper and a Marine, as well as a bunch of Marauders here. This is pretty scary looking for Bach, but he doesn't even worry about these Terran units. He's going to go ahead and run, use Psionic Transfer to stay alive as long as humanly possible. But there it is. There's the warp on in. The Psionic Transfer getting into the main base. No, turning around instead and gets melted by the bio units. A small attack here at the front door, trying to get rid of the Nexus, but there are 2. Nope, there's just 1 Adept. And going to go after some more juicy workers. The total number of workers lost is 4, and a Widowmine cleans that guy up, so no problem. Alright, so pretty diverse group here. We have a Reaper and a Marine and a Marauder trying to kill a Nexus that is building. And you know what? It looks like their DPS is enough to actually offset the building of the Nexus here for Bach. Mothership core comes out trying to do what she can. Only the Marine can shoot up, so I think that was enough to shoot that off, and indeed it is. The Nexus will be injured, though. Might be easy to be picked off here. Alex is just going for straight bile with Widow Mines. Coming out across the map. This SCV here is very injured, but alive. Grateful to be alive. And only 2 workers in this gas and 1 worker in this gas, interestingly enough. And let's see if the mules are 64 seconds before their systems fail. Yep, that's an original mule there for sure. But here comes a small push to the front door of the Protoss army. And what are we going to do is the question. Burrow the Widow Mines at the front door, I have to assume. Indeed we do, and nothing does manage to kill it. A big-time stim coming on in. All of these Stalkers are in a lot of trouble. Photon Overcharge, double Photon Overcharge, though. Another Stalker falls. Marauders and Marines dying at the same time. Widow Mine shot does get off and get 2 kills there, but the rest of the Terran army is killed. Their blood soaking into the sand here. And Bach survives the attack, so that's good for him. But again, you have more and more Marines and Marauders streaming across the map. Finally taking a second base is Alex, saying, alright, maybe I can't kill this Protoss just with a single base attack. I do need a second command center, and that should be good news. How much energy on this orbital command? Enough for another mule. So maybe we should call that down just for that extra income. Alex is a little starved for minerals right now. Another mule here would definitely be an improvement. So Widow Mines are a big problem right now. We are making a robo facility. Yep, there it is. And I'm going to try to get an observer out, but it's going to be a while. So I think if this guy ticks down long enough, probably kill that Stalker, probably kill maybe a transferring probe if it gets lucky. I don't know, but actually making a Stargate. All right, I like some Stargate play here from my Protoss player against Terran. You don't see that a lot. Just because Marines do really well against everything in the air for Protoss, can kind of melt carriers and void rays and all that. And yep, Widow Mine with 4 kills does kill a Stalker. Very proud indeed. This one has 0, and it's also damaged, while this one has full health. So this one is very, very jealous of his friend that's a little bit closer to the action. But look at this Widow Mine spread right now. With the additional push on in with Marines and Marauders going to go right for these pylons, saying, I don't want Photon Overcharge again. So we're going to kill the pylons first. An excellent strategy by Alex. Pushing on in, another Widow Mine is laying siege. Widow Mine gets a shot off before it dies. Photon Overcharge on top of everything, trying to get that stupid pylon. Moving back to the relative safety of the Widow Mines, but guess what? There's an observer here. The Widow Mines are getting picked off by the Stalkers that do outrange them. They're forced to unburrow and run away. Marauder comes on in by himself, saying, back on out, son. I'm a Marauder. I shoot cannonballs from my hands. Actually, what is that officially? Punisher Grenades. I don't think I've ever looked at that in my entire life. So Punisher Grenades from the Marauder, and small group is probably going to die here. There's a lot of Stalkers, indeed. Back on out. Alex, don't go there. Widow Mines are burrowing again, trying to make a line of death for the Protoss player, but at this point, it is 40 Harvesters to 16. Bach is playing this really, really well right now. He's dealing with the harassment. He's getting workers. He's saturating. What's in production over here? Warp Prism. All right. So an Oracle heading on out, recognizing there probably isn't much defense back home with all the pressure that Alex has been applying on me. And guess what? There's not. There are no missile turrets. I don't think there's even an engineering bay here. Nope, no Marines at home either to deal with, as all the Marines are walking across the field. They'll be out of position when this attack comes. A Warp Prism as well. Bach using the special tactics in conjunction with the Oracle. I'm going to try to put the hurt on Alex, and I have to imagine this is going to be pretty successful at this point. Observer scouting out exactly what's at the front door, so very Marauder heavy with a couple Marines, which means what we probably want. Zealots are a good choice here as well. We're throwing up a cannon for defense. Are those 2 cannons? 3 cannons. The cannon defense. Woo! Basically, I think Bach is feeling like, I'm going to attack the Terran. He's going to lose a lot of stuff, and then he's going to go get desperate and come try to attack me. So I better be ready with these cannons just for a little extra insurance while Alex maybe suicides into my base. I think that's what's going on here. But the Oracle really should move in. The longer it waits, the less time these guys are going to be undefended, I think. Hard to say. Oh, Stim's actually being researched now. I thought there was a Stim before. Everybody looked pretty injured, but no, I think they just took hits instead. So maybe we're waiting for Stim before we attack. Trying to shoo away that Overseer. Doesn't quite manage to kill it. It gets outside of the range of that scan. And the Overseer, or Observer, is away. Again, small group of Marines and Marauders. Ooh, a tank coming in. I like this decision from Alex. A tank setting up siege. Going to try to deal with those cannons. Going to try to deal with the Stalkers. Always nice. We're going to try to push out is the question. And no, don't do that. No, Alex, ooh, recognizing, okay, there are cannons. This is not somewhere I want to go. Both players are going to dance back and forth here and try to find a good angle to attack. Nobody really wants to suicide into this. I think Alex if he pushes in, would pretty much die with Photon Overcharge and these 3 cannons and all these Stalkers. But at the same time, if Bach pushes out the Widow Mines, the tank is going to come into play, and it will be good night for him as well. So the Oracle comes in and says, hey, all these juicy SCVs, you are all mine. Mine, I say. And indeed, they are all his. Moving up to the main base now, going to try to kill all these workers, and really there's not many workers at all here for Alex. Unfortunately, not keeping up on that worker production, and is now down to a healthy total of 11 SCVs. Make that 9, 8, and yeah, not looking good at all for Alex at this point. He's pretty much down to 6 SCVs, and going to lose another one here on the gas. So there's nothing going on in the main base except for this SCV and this SCV and this SCV, who are kind of AFK. Trying to build supply depots. They finished their job but weren't told to go back to work, and so they're just kind of hanging out. That is something you want to learn, new players, is you can shift Q SCVs to build things and then go back to mining. So you do shift, build supply depot, and then right click on a mineral patch, and that's what they will do. And no, Oracle versus missile turret. That's not a good fight for the Oracle, throwing that up at the last second after losing most of his workers. So it's 51 workers to 5 right now. Bach in production. We do see pylons and workers, man. That's pretty much it. I mean, you might as well. Could you get carriers at this point? You could get a fleet beacon, I guess. Going for it, though, are the Stalkers. They want to get that siege tank, and they do. Back on out, Stalkers. You're getting evaporated. There we go. Backing on out. Alex's army looking pretty good there, especially with the stim, that increased attack. But guess what? There are no medevacs to heal them. So they take the damage, and they take the damage. It doesn't get healed back up. The next time they stim, they'll be down even lower on the HP scale, which is not good for them. Observer checking things out again. Is this the one from before? No, there are 2. How many are on the map? Total number of 4 observers on the map. Wow, Bach really wants to know what's going on. Are there hidden bases? Are there things I need to worry about? Who knows? But observers are the way to answer that question. Units lost tab does show an Oracle has died, a Mothership Core, and 14 Stalkers, along with 4 Adepts for Bach right now. But meanwhile, 20 SCVs have been killed for Alex. Not a good spot at all. A single tank, 5 Marauders, 12 Marines, and a Reaper, as well as 4 Widow Mines. So this has been a pretty solid back and forth at this point. Are we just going to go for it here? Getting rid of that Widow Mine and then backing out. Didn't actually lose any units to kill that Widow Mine. Good push there by Bach. But, you know, the longer you let the Terran player kind of hang out here, look at this Mule production. If you look at the income tab, yeah, Terran's actually ahead of Protoss, despite having 9 total workers. Because, you know what? Mules are good. Mules are a good spell. Or do we have any more here? Nope, we used all the energy on these orbital commands on Mules. Exactly what needs to happen. Producing SCVs and producing a medevac. There we go. Recognizing the need to heal these guys up after that stim. They don't want to overstim, because an overstimmed Marine or Marauder is a dead Marine or Marauder. Finally, all those mules expire. Ooh, Disruptor in production there for Bach as well. And now our income is actually still really, really high. Nope, it's low. Just getting down to 300. Did I get those backwards last time? I don't know. It was close anyway. Alex was fairly close in the income, but now definitely down. A Disruptor. I like the Disruptor play. And what are we doing? We're actually picking up probes to expand somewhere else without the Terran army noticing. And here we come. Stalkers in the front are not doing so well. All of those Zealots as well end up dead. There are some Zealots in the pack, but another Widow Mine dying. Yep, good job there. But man, that was a lot of Stalkers that died for reasons I don't fully understand or agree with. But that's okay. Bach's hanging out on these 2 bases, trying to take a sneaky 3rd base, which is an excellent idea. Bach does have enough to actually take that base, but has not decided to build a Nexus for some reason. I don't fully understand, but that's okay. Another tank coming on out, finally feeling like Alex has enough workers maybe to actually start production on army units, which is nice. There goes that Nexus. Here we go, getting warped right on in with the cool animation. Zoom, 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 zoom. Actually, they're squares. I wonder if that's just a limitation of the animation. I mean, I could do rounded things, right? Maybe it'll look better, but oh no, did we drop? We did drop in the main. A drop here with Marines and Marauders, trying to kill everything here. All of these pylons going after, what are we doing here? Focusing down pylons. We did actually recall in. The Stalkers are not on attack move. Now they're attacking. A full surround with Stalkers on every side of the map. Everybody's going to die here, but they killed what they could. Are we actually going to get rid of the medevacs as well? Yes, both the medevacs do fall. Their Terran army is forced to retreat. The cannon finishing that guy off as well. Still 58 to 18 Arbiters. Bach feeling pretty good about things, but there's a single medevac here to heal up these units. There's a tank. Do we have any upgrades at all at this point? Nope, no upgrades whatsoever. But that's a-okay at this point, because you know what? Protoss has no upgrades either. Oh, there is +1 attack. I apologize, Bach. I insulted you, and I did not intend to do so. Ooh, a 4th base coming up for Bach as well, feeling very confident. Even this position, Like, he knows the Terran army's over here to come and kind of attack things from behind the safety of the mineral line and takes it anyway. Instead of maybe a sneakier base over there or up here. This one I don't like taking as Protoss because the Terran army can get up that ramp and kill things. But going for it again is Alex. A Widowmine shot goes off. Another Zealot dies to the stimmed army. They're going for it. Nope, just kidding. They're backing on out. So Alex kind of poking in, trying to win this just one battle at a time, recognizing that he's down super bad right now, 118 to 70 total supply. These two bases, though, are looking all right. Now, not really fully saturated, though. No gas production either. At the second base, Alex is on a budget economy and trying to make do with what he has. But you know what? Marines and Marauders are pretty much built for the budget economy. You don't have to have a super high income to continue producing these units. And that's exactly what Alex is trying to do. I mean, if he wins this game, I'm going to be super surprised. It's entirely possible, but at this point, who really knows? So double assimilator here, but no gas income yet. Bach could really use the gas. 1,000 minerals and 62 total gas available. Are we mining here either? No. Why are you not mining from your gas geysers, Bach? You need gas. You are a Protoss player after all, but instead just mining minerals. Happily mining minerals. Chrono boost going up on this Nexus. Nothing really happening at all. Still at 62 gas. What is going on, Bach? You have 42 workers at this base. Transfer some. Put them on the assimilators. That's what you have to do. Continue the disruptor production. That's another good choice as well. Is there a Colossus in here? There is, in fact, a Colossus in here. There it is. That +1 upgrade means it does 13 damage and 2 attacks. Where's my units tab? Disruptor. Did he lose the disruptor on an attack? I feel like Bach lost a disruptor on the attack. Unfortunately, it must have been at the front or something like that. But here comes the warp prism running around. We're going to warp stuff in the back here. Warp prisms, I do believe, have the 2-second warp, and yes, they do. 2-second warp in there, so that's a way to get rid of Widowmines. Oh, Widowmine shot kills one anyway, though, and it's still alive. Oh, Widowmine with 1 kill and 2 hit points. That was not the best micro I've ever seen at all from Bach, but time to get on out of here. Do not fly close. There we go. Okay, there it is. A couple more shots. Does get rid of the Widowmine, and then we pick up and flying out. But guess what? A stim forward. Get out of there. No! Warp Prism does get burned down. Remember what I said about Marines killing everything in the air for Protoss super duper fast? That's the truth. And this is what I was worried about. The Marines and the Marauders get behind the mineral line. They are in range to kill that Nexus. The Nexus is down to 10%. It is down to 0. And there goes the 4th base for Bach. Still has the sneaky 3rd base down here. Oh, finally is getting gas income. How about this guy? No gas income here. 42 harvesters still on this base for reasons unknown at this point. Is Alex getting back in this game? Up to 22 harvesters, about 100 supply to 143 in favor of Bach. But you know what? Bach is not actually... Sorry, yeah, in favor of Bach. Bach is not actually trying to push out at all. Just playing super defensively. Is really worried about this Marine Marauder composition. I mean, you could get Storm. Storm's really good against Marines and Marauders. In addition, you could possibly get something like Disruptors. You had a Disruptor earlier. Here they are, Disruptor 150, 150. You have enough to build 2. Some excellently deployed Nova, Purification Novas could kill pretty much this group and this group immediately. It's 150 splash damage. Marines and Marauders are nowhere near that. Okay, Marauders have 125, but you get the point. 3rd base now up for Alex, and looking pretty healthy, I have to say here. Are we mined out on the main base? Not really, but there's a single SCV working on that. Both players hanging out, getting extended thermal lance for Bach. Is Alex actually going to make this a win? He was down to 8 harvesters. 8 total. Bach should totally still win this, but at this point, I really don't know what to expect. I mean, I suppose that's why we play the games, right? Because we don't know what to expect. But again, just kind of massing up. This kind of looks like the Cold War right now. Both players are massing up their units and their destructive capabilities on either side of the map. Nobody really interested in making a move right now. There are medevacs to heal things up, so that's good. 3 medevacs here. Vikings as well. Viking production in full swing to deal with the Colossus. And I think there's only 1. There's another one in production, but that's about it. Yep, sneaky another base over here. Oh, but the Marine scouts this out. And he's going to actually be able to kill several workers here. Oh, the recall to the 3rd base, though. And that Marine's going to die. Sorry, Marine. Bit of an overkill, but at the same time, now the base has been discovered. Alex knows, oh no, I don't have the Protoss contained like I thought I did. I thought I had him on 2 bases, and he was getting mined out, and I was going to win. But guess what? Sneaky 3rd base. And all the probes are super long distance mining from this one that is not quite completed yet. And here we go. Time warp. does happen, catching a single Marauder inside its time warpiness. And guess what? This Nexus is going to die. All the probes should probably run away at this point. Are we just going to base race? Yes! Bach is going for the base race, taking down this command center. It is not a planetary, it is not an orbital, it's just a command center. And no, Alex says, back on out. I don't want to base trade against this Protoss player, even though you probably have the advantage as the Protoss, and recalling back home. That's it. So Bach is playing this extremely defensively right now. The long distance mine is kind of insane from Protoss. Long distance mining from this base and from this base. With all of these probes back and forth, the income cannot be high at all right now. But losing that third base was quite a blow for Alex. What's he going to do to try to deal with it? And the answer is going to be he's going to move out with his Marines and Marauders and kill assimilators and kill probes that are coming back just to mine. They're just minding their own business, trying to provide for their families or for ire, I suppose, and they are all going to die. Look at these returning probes. Don't do it, probes. It's a death trap over here. Small, probes as well. This siege tank with 7 kills, getting surrounded by probes. This is not something you see every day, but this siege tank did actually fall to probes. So go figure on that account of things. Moving left is Alex. Marines, Marauders, Vikings, Medivacs. Found this Nexus. Nothing mining here, but it's going to die as well. Third base. New third base for Bach. All these probes are here waiting so patiently to mine because there's really nothing to mine. You could long distance down to here, I suppose. But Bach is not playing this very well at all. Another fourth base there. Command center just about finished for Alex. Down to 17 harvesters. Has pretty much done this on like 20 max harvesters the entire game so far here at the 21-minute mark. Here's the bush. We have a Colossus with +1 attack. We have 2 Nexus on the way as well. We have an Oracle that I think is going to die because it's going to fly over here and the Vikings are going to try to kill it. Nope, stays alive just barely by fleeing from those Vikings. Are we going to just stim on in and try to win this game now? Alex might just go for it, getting another assimilator and a scan to see exactly what he's dealing with and saying, you know what, Stalkers don't scare me, Zealots don't scare me, Oracles don't scare me. Ugh, Viking attack. Trying to bait the Vikings out and doing a pretty good job of it there, but Alex stims forward, and he is going for it. Here we go. Big attack. The Colossus getting swipes left and right, bringing probes off the line as well, trying to deal with this. But the single Colossus, I don't think, is enough. The Stalker DPS, not enough either. Not using the Photon Overcharge to the best of Bach's abilities. Slowly, the Marines and the Marauders are being whittled down. Vikings taking hits as well. Stalkers are still alive, pursuing, but into a tank. Don't do that. They decide to make the decision to get that tank and then continue to chase after, sniping down Medivacs left and right. A Viking dies. Boo to the Stalkers. Another Viking gonna die. Yep, going after. Target firing very well here is Bach, and actually taking things out. Getting rid of Medivacs, getting rid of Vikings, taking out individual Marines as well, and Marauders that are very weak, and a couple other hits with those Stalkers. If they had Blink, they could probably catch this Medivac, but they're faster than the Marines and the Marauders without stim, so they're slowly picking them off from behind like hyenas, nipping at the heels of a wounded lion. Ooh, so many things are dying here, and the original group ends up dead, but guess what? Reinforcements and Marines catching them on the way out as well. The Stalkers need to run for their lives. Concussive Shell has been researched, so any Marauder shots will slow them down, but thankfully they're out of range right now, and they should be able to escape. So this base is up, pretty much oversaturated. This base as well, looking okay. So Bach, you got to get that gas income, man. You have 300 minerals, 30 gas. Your production tab is pretty much empty except for assimilators. You can get additional workers on this one, guy. There's a lot of gas available at his natural, and there's actually, okay, 300 gas available at the main. Not as much as you might think. Another scan goes down. Here at the 23-minute mark. So I think this is definitely exemplifying Bronze League, ladies and gentlemen. Nobody can really kill the other player. That last battle was pretty darn good. Bach tried to push it back, but I think the remaining Stalkers were just too little. Production was looking okay for Alex back at the main base, but at 17 to 39 harvesters, this base is up and running, looking very, very good. Gas income, though, again, pretty low for the Terran player. Not much happening here. 300 gas available on this refinery. Interestingly enough, we're going to come up and try to kill this base. There's really nothing defending it at all. +2, +1 upgrades are here, going right after the Nexus, using the stim, the Medivac out of position to heal. But that Nexus falls very, very quickly. The pylon as well. All of those workers, the Stalkers. The defender's advantage, though, for Alex on the high ground. Zealots absorbing some of those shots and stimming, getting the heck out of there. Reinforcing Marines coming in, retreating recognizing this is a bad place to be, but one dying regardless. And Alex says, you know what, I killed a base. Can I kill a second base? He's going for it. He comes right on in, says, hey, this Nexus is a free base. We're going to try to kill these workers instead. No, going after the Nexus, allowing the Stalker to pick individuals off piece by piece by piece. This Stalker, nope, ends up dead as well. All the probes run at the same time. Assimilators are getting destroyed by those grenades and those bullets. And the Stalkers, bad place to be. Yikes, Stalkers at the wrong place, wrong time, stimming away. This army is so low on health right now, but has killed both of the mining bases for Bach, while this base remains operational. Right now, the income tab definitely favors our Terran player. 500 minerals, 200 gas to 40 minerals, and 100 gas in favor of Bach. Protoss had the lead. I just don't think it's going to happen for him at this point. This Stalker Zealot army is very weak. Against the Marines and the Marauders, you're really going to have Disruptors or something, or more Colossus, maybe Storm again. Storm is a good choice. +3 Terran Infantry Weapons, level 3 on the way for Alex. Playing this fairly well. I know it's the 25-minute mark, and like a pro would have +3 at the 7 or 8-minute mark. Okay, that's an exaggeration, but still, you get the point. But still, getting upgrades, it makes a huge world of difference, especially in the lower leagues. Having upgraded units means you're going to win battles more often than not, because players at this level do not often get those upgrades. SCV checking them out. Is there another base down here? No, there's not. Probably wants to check this one at the same time. Double Nexus expansion, though. Replacing the ones that he lost earlier is Bach. Probes mining from the assimilators. Indeed we are. Down to 27 probes, though. That is not good. What is this? Tell me it's a warp prism. Warp prisms aren't going to win you this game, Bach. They just are not. Fourth base. Now coming up at the 26-minute mark for the Terran player, Alex. Little drills here. Slowly building the command center all by itself. It's kind of amazing an SCV can build a command center all by itself, right? It's like a barn raising with a single Amish guy instead of like 20 or 30. I think that's usually how many they have. I don't know. The community gets together, you build a barn, you have a party, it's a good time. But when you're in the Terran army and you're an SCV, you build a command center by your lonesome. There's no party. There's no good time. You just work your tail off, no breaks whatsoever until that building is done. And then if you're lucky, you can sit there for 5 seconds before your Terran overlord tells you to get back to work. Here we come again, Marines and Marauders and Medivacs stimming forward. The army is just not big at all. We're just pushing right on in. Where's the mothership core is my question. The photon cannons are getting evaporated under this pressure. This base is going to die as well. More Stalkers coming on in, but they are trapped in a corner. Excellent concave. Alex has the upper hand on this battle. The Colossus trying to kill everything. The Zealot's trying to absorb damage, while the DPS in the back of the Stalkers kills everything else. And actually, that was a pretty good engagement for Bach, but in the end, I just don't think this is going to happen. Another stim pushing forward, sniping down every single Stalker. The Colossus dying as well. Does get target fired. All the Stalkers end up dead. And the healing above from the Medivacs ensuring that none of these units are going to die anytime soon. We are marching up the ramp. Stalker. Not enough, Stalker, as your pieces fly into the air and die. Gateways, warp gates dying, pylons as well. Alex should probably move everybody up here so they can all shoot, but you know what, at this point it doesn't really matter. Medevac's up here, not healing anybody, but that's it. Bach has left the game here at the 27-minute mark, and Alex, surprisingly, is victorious. So, kind of a surprising outcome there. Again, Alex, super low econ the whole game. I really just think it came down to composition and being a little bit too tentative for a Protoss player. The composition of Stalkers and Zealots and Sentries will not hold up into the mid to late game against Marauders and Marines, especially if they have their upgrades. And so as a Protoss player, you need those Disruptors. Again, you need Storm. You need something that can handle this. It was pretty Marauder heavy, so I think maybe if the Marine count was low enough, you could probably go Carriers, you could probably go Void Rays and win it as well. But man, Bach just stuck on those Gateway units way too long, and that was it. So for those Bronze League players out there, that is a little bit of advice from FalconPaladin for you. And yeah, this has been FalconPaladin with yet another daily Blizzard upload. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can catch me on Twitch, Twitter, and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. Very easy to find. And until next time, as always, you take care of yourself.